Today we're going to be getting into some repotting that is long overdue. I know this is a mess. We're going to get into some trellising of my Hoyas. Just taking a look at those that are trellised and deciding if there's some I want to put on trellises. And I'm going to take a look at some of my crystals and trinkets that I keep on the shelves to help decorate and style the shelves. Like, I love this little guy and that blue flash he has. So come on along and let's go.
Welcome to Plantress, indoor oasis. Let the wild come home, right here in this room. Yeah.
That's what that burly marks that you saw me clean up the other day looks like after getting cleaned up. And this little girl is sitting in a bowl of water. And I also pour water in on top of her because it seems to be the only way to get her soil properly saturated. But this marble queen, I should have been repotted, honestly. I just was being lazy and I didn't feel like it. And I was debating on whether or not I wanted to go up in pot size for her, because not all of my plants I'm willing to go up in pot size. Going up in pot size means you need more space, and quite frankly, I'd rather use that extra space for something new. So this is going to be her new growing pot and cash pot. I took out another cash pot just in case I come across something else that needs to be repotted. This is my soil mix. I know it looks like straight bark, but there's a good bit of soil mixed down in there. So it's a nice airy mix, but it has enough soil to retain, some moisture. And that's the pot size she's going up into. So not much bigger, but, big enough. And a pot this size can still sit on the shelf in that position where I want her to stay. So let's get started repotting this girl. I make almost all of my pots when I can self-watering. It's just easier for me. You'll see she's not going to be in a self-watering pot. However, let me show you something. She has a little water reservoir down there. Now you're probably saying, well, the grower pot is sitting right in the water. Yes, that is true. However, without the wick, what I've noticed when that happens is the water doesn't get all the way up through the soil to the top. I have some that I haven't put wicks in yet, and they will be sitting in a little bit of water like that, and the bottom might stay soggy, but the top just never gets hydrated. So you have parts of your plant that are dying from being too wet and parts of your plant that are dying from not enough moisture. So that wick definitely helps evenly distribute that water. All of these guys are from the same shelf. So once I get everybody back on the shelf, this is what it's looking like. Because I'm never worried about putting a smaller pot in a bigger cash pot, because one, sometimes when you get a cash pot that exactly matches the size of your growing pot, it can be hard to get your growing pot in and out of that cash pot. So I typically like my cash pots to be a little bigger, but especially with a trailing plant, that plant is going to cover, any gaps or spaces that somebody might see. You're not going to see just how much bigger than that growing pot, that cash pot is. I went on and decided to turn her around and move her back because she was covering my pink flamingo and covering this fishy eye too much. And this fishy eye is reaching for the light as it is. So that's what that shelf looks like when I'm all done. Next up, I'm checking out these Hoyas because I have this Rosita here in this head. And she's starting to trail quite a bit. And I'm debating on whether or not to trellis her. I'm thinking if I could keep it in this head pot and have a round trellis like on this Matilda Splash, that might make a very cute composition together. You see with this Matilda Splash, I'm winding her, and she's going around the trellis very nicely. The trellis is almost completely filled in, except for that one little section over there, but her vines over there are, do have buds on them, so I'm confident that'll fill in soon. I don't know about this Rosita though. I don't know. I'm trying to make up my mind. We'll see. I'm probably not gonna do it right now, but also this is the little watering can that I use to water my Hoyas. I have two different fertilizers that I use for my Hoyas versus pretty much everything else. And I will use this on some succulents too. Checking out my Paraiso Verde. She's starting to get her variegation back. If you remember, I chopped her because the leaves she was putting out at the time was just all green, kind of like that guy. But the reason I like Paraiso Verde is for that variegation. Now, granted, it has it now, but it's like that darker variegation. And I'm hoping to get some lighter leaves as summer gets warmer because the coloration on this plant very much depends on the temperature in the room. And you see she has new leaves coming in. Some nice big new leaves coming in. I'm hoping these guys are going to be lighter because it has been warmer. And if you look down here at the bottom of her, she's on this moss pole. She doesn't have a lot of leaves down here because again, they were green, all green. A lot of this up top is more newer as we were getting into spring. So it's starting to have more of that variegation that I wanted. And I don't know, I might, no, I'm not. I was about to say I might replant the green ones down in the bottom just to fill her in. No, I'm not. I'm gonna let this grow above the pole and then I'll top chop like I do a lot of my other plants and then just plant it back down in the bottom there. And this girl, I don't know what she's got going on. As you see, she's wrapped like I do with my anthurium just to keep humidity on the roots because the roots love humidity. However, this was that last leaf she put out, that humongous leaf. This is the new leaf. It's about to harden off. And this is as big as it's going to get. Like, how? You are the smallest thing on the plant. How did you put out this big, massive Goliath leaf? The leaves before that leaf were nice size. And then you put out this little thing. I don't understand. And it's already got a new one growing in down there. And I'm wondering if that's why. Like, did that newer one growing in, like, stunt the growth of that one? I don't know. Here's another one of my trellis Hoyas. It's a Carnosa Splash. And I love how powdery, silvery a lot of these leaves look. But this one is starting to look a little weird to me overall on the trellis. Beautiful, beautiful leaves. But I got like most of these leaves are around the same size. And all of a sudden it decided to pop out these two in relation to the other plants, massive leaves. And so with the two bigger leaves at the top and all of these smaller leaves down the bottom looking more symmetrical, it looks a little, look, it looked funny. It looked funny. I think if it wasn't for those two big ones at the top, it wouldn't look as funny to me. But then again, I don't know. I'm kind of feeling like it might look funny anyway. At least until it fills in more. And maybe because of the kind of trellis I got it on. I have it on this U-shaped trellis. But you see the difference in size between these two big leaves at the top and the rest of the plant? They're not as splashy either, but they are huge compared to the rest of these leaves down here. I don't know. Some plants, I don't be knowing the rhyme or reason for why they do what they do. I don't know why I popped out those two big old leaves. But that's what it's looking like right now. I'm hoping over time, as it fills in, it won't look so crazy to me. We'll see. She seems to be loving life right now, though. Now, this Fitchy Eye, she's on a trellis. The problem is she hasn't grown a lot for me. I feel like recently, this spring, she's just starting to grow for me a little bit. And so hopefully by the end of spring, maybe she'll make it around the trellis. We'll see, as long as she keeps growing the way she started to, like in the last month or so. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. Do people typically let these trail or do you typically trellis these? I love that half moon leaf. It's so pretty. If you can't tell, I'm a silver lover on Hoyas. Some of the leaves not as silvery as others, but I find that across all of them. So I'll water these two guys and then they'll get popped back up on the shelf. My water does have fertilizer in it. And honestly, year round, my water always has fertilizer in it. Look at that pretty variegation there. That is pretty. And I do have some growth points coming in on that girl. So like I said, hopefully by the end of summer, she'll make it all the way around her trellis. And hopefully this guy fills in some more so it might not look so crazy. Because it look crazy to me right now. But I want more of that silver too. That silver is so pretty. And some of them leaves more closer to the top don't have as much silver. Hopefully I get more of that silver back as well. Just taking a look over everything else, seeing if there was anything else that needed attention, like right now, right this minute. And I pulled out my Carnosa, my Crimson Princess. She needed a little drinky drink. I love the way she grows. I got another one right there. I got two of them. And then I got the pink flamingo, and they all look a lot alike, but I just like that aesthetic. Checking to see if there's anything else I need to pull down. Oh, and by the way, this is the fertilizer I use for the Hoyas. I realized the Puride I usually use for everything else, I felt like they wasn't thriving as much or growing as fast. And since I've switched to that fertilizer, they've been picking up speed a little bit. And that stress coat is what I put in my water to take out the impurities. So I'm not a use distilled water only girly. I'm not a rainwater collection girly. I just go ahead and treat my water with that stress coat. And pretty much everything but a calathea seems to do okay with it. I don't know. Now let's check out this side over here. This Ferdinand Fire is going crazy. I'm just checking to see if that girl needs to be watered. And I'm pretty sure he did need to be watered. Looking over everything. This guy needs a water, and I don't get it because this is one of the violets, one of the African violets. And it's so limp like it's been dry forever, and they all get watered at the same time. The Labesia, as long as its leaves not floppy, I know that guy's okay. But these other African violet leaves are nice and solid and stiff, which means they're well watered. Every other one, except for that one up the top, and they all got watered at the same time. I don't know what's going on with this guy. Granted, as soon as he gets water, he'll perk back up like the other ones, but he just been a pain lately. I see the leaves on that guy's floppy, so that guy definitely needs a water. And just in case you were at all unsure, this is the part where I start looking at and admiring the things that are on the shelves with the plants. Like these little butterfly wings, I think they are so cute. And they're just sitting in a bedazzled box full of different crystals. This little apple with the druzy is one of my faves. I think it is just so cute. This sea turtle that was handmade by a woman on Facebook Marketplace. She hand makes these guys. And not only did she send him, she sent some little babies with him, which was the cutest thing. But I just think he is so beautiful. Like, when I first saw it, I was like, oh my goodness, I want one of those. And sure enough, and she can customize it to like different colors that you want and everything. And I was like, no, It looked like that in the picture. That's what drew my attention. That's exactly what I want. And this is like one of my ultimate favorite. This obsidian kitsune. For anybody who doesn't know, a kitsune is those mythical creatures that look like a fox with 9 tails. She is so gorgeous. That's probably, I would venture to say that's probably my absolute favorite piece that I have. I love that kitsune. And I know one of my faves is right here. This little dolphin. I think he is so cute. He's a heavy, chunky piece too. And this bear brick. He is so cute, and I love those blue flashes that he has whenever you twist and turn him in the light. He's a Labradorite bear. Let me see, where are some more of my faves? This apophyllite cluster right here. And it's not showing real good right here, but sometimes it sparkles so nice in the light. I love clusters, especially the sparklier the better. I was looking in there to see if any of my faves was in there. And don't get me wrong, I like all my stuff, otherwise I wouldn't buy it. But it's just certain ones that are like my absolute favorites. I got, okay, Grandpa back there laid out, this one up here in the grass laid out. I really got to get in this terrarium, man. I've been saying that forever. I might do it this weekend. This Phoenix stone right here, I just think another one of my favorites. It is so beautiful to me. And then this fire quartz. I love this too. I love spheres. I'm big on spheres, but I also love really cute carvings like that dolphin and that bear. But I also love clusters like that apophyllite. I'm just, I like things I find to be very pretty. I thought this owl with the juicy in his little belly was super cute. You can see how it sparkles in there. He got another area across his back. And I love that banding in there. And I love this guy. This is moss agate. And you see the petrified moss inside of there. That's moss that will be there forever now. Because it just grew along with the crystal. I love that. Like, look what nature can do. This guy right here is always one of my faves and super fun just because look how sparkly. It's just so pretty. Certain times when you walk by, that sparkle just catch your attention. Nobody would think that a stone that looked like that on the outside would have all this pretty beautifulness inside. Here goes one of those little baby turtles I told you she sent along with that big turtle. I wound up giving the baby turtles to my girls. And what they do, come stick them out here amongst my plants. Back there in that corner over there is my little temple. And in my little temple, I have a little rose quartz. Look at my little rose quartz carving. Just looking at it makes me feel so zen. In certain lights, it looks white and washed out, but it's a very pinky pink. It just depends on what light you look at it in. It's like a soft, feminine pink. Trying to get him back in his temple next to his little birdie. Okay, those are just some of my little favorite, crystals that sit styled on my shelf with the plants that I just wanted to show you guys. Taking a quick look over everything because it had already been a long morning, so I decided, you know what? I'm taking a break. It's time for some wine. Going in the room, kick my feet up for a little while, just taking one last look over everything, taking stock of what I already have done and what I have to do. The shelf over there with the Hoya is done over by the Montserrat. Everything on that wall is done. This wall I'll have to do in that window after I get done taking my break. I was just checking that bowl right there to see if any of my other little faves was in there to show you. Just taking stock of everything. I like my little thinker guy too. He's cute, and so is my Mother Earth. Trying to get a look at those plants in the window to see just how much attention might be needed back there, so I can make mental note when I come back out after my little break what needs to happen. This wellfin is, for so long I wanted it to do something and give me some little babies and some little pups, but it's up to 3 pups now, all pushing out at once. Not one of them look variegated like the mama. They all of them look like regular wellfins. So I'm thinking I'm about to have a pot full of the regular looking wellfins, which is fine, but it's gonna be this one variegated one gonna be the odd man out, and it's the one that started everything. I see the Selby's giving up a couple new leaves. I'm being a bad camera person at this point in time because I'm just checking. I'm counting the new leaves I see coming in. A little piece of black art. If you want to support some black artists, there's one, and I have another one over on the gallery wall too. And she's from Chester, PA, from the hometown, and she created this big, beautiful piece of art on my wall. That's her name right there. If you find and follow her on Facebook, let her know you know somebody that has a big piece of her art up on her wall. She'll probably be surprised to see it made it all the way to Rome, Georgia.